Alright, guys. It's your boy Mr. Cheap Sense here. Just walking in the door. Absolutely nothing going on outside. There is no heavy wind, no heavy rain. It's been partially cloudy skies, but mostly sunny almost all day. Not a peep. The wind has picked up in sporadic moments, which that means you can tell that Hurricane Dorian is inching her way up towards the coast, across the coast, and it has died down significantly. It was a Category 5 when it was over the Bahamas. It went down to a 4. I think at one point it went to a 3 for a little while, and then I turned around and looked again, and it was at a Cat 2. There's some dry air coming from the west coast towards our way, which is also helping to break the hurricane down, because as you know, hurricanes don't like dry. It loves moisture. It loves warm water, which is mostly because of the global warming, and the glaciers in the Arctics are melting. The North Pole, South Pole, wherever, they're melting at a rapid rate, and the water is warming so much. And that is one of the reasons why we have so many hurricanes. Perfect conditions for the perfect storms. As you guys noticed, the past few years, the hurricanes and tornadoes have been getting more sporadic, more stronger. And I'm not trying to sit here and sound like I know what I'm talking about, because I really don't. But I'm just going off of, what I've seen the past few years and what I always hear people saying on the news. This is becoming a more often occurrent of hurricanes, becoming stronger, lasting longer, being bigger, stuff like that. So as of right now, nothing going on. We probably won't see much until maybe later on tonight, early morning, and maybe throughout tomorrow. It said we could get some tropical storm force winds, but as far as it is off the coast, it shouldn't get too bad. Maybe along the beaches and the coast, but inland it shouldn't be too bad. But still, people here need to hunker down, take heed just in case something changes. Be aware of your surroundings, know what to do if something happens, etc., etc. And to all the people who did get battered and beat up in the Bahamas, I hope things get better. The death toll was not as bad as it usually has been. I think it was like 5 to 7 people so far that they know of have perished in the storm. But regardless, I feel sorry for those people who are like in direct path of these hurricanes, like the Bahamas and whatever other islands that are out there in that area. It's horrible. Cuba, all of that. Like, it's horrible for those people. They sit in the line of fire. They're the first ones to get beat up by these hurricanes, and when they get them, they're at their strongest. It's not like they come weak. They start off as just a tropical storm, or maybe a Cat 1. They start off at a 5. Like, they getting the full force of this thing. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with a lot of that talk. So the fragrance I wore today is one I really don't believe I've worn, period, yet. And I have 3 from this line. My favorite is Noble Fig. And this one is from the house of Ferrari. And it is Radiant Bergamot. And this is the box. And it's just like the rest of the boxes from this line. The bottles even look the same also. The only thing is maybe the juice color on most of them. But this is the standard box form. Have the Ferrari logo here, the horse. Says Ferrari here. Radiant Bergamot. Has the amount, which is 100 ml eau de toilette concentration. Has batch code stamped in on the bottom. On the back, just basic information, ingredients, stuff like that. Nothing on the sides. The top just says Ferrari. And that's about it. Bottle is the same as the other 2 bottles that I have. And I said this before when I did the review on Noble Fig. I wish that they would have did something different with the bottle. At least give it, like, all of them has this leather piping around the top. And I wish it at least could have been like a different color leather or something to, you know, make it look a little different. But, you know, it has that, the bottle has that muscular build of, like, you know, how a hood would have, you know, linings in it. That's what you get here. Pretty heavy bottle. The juice color is like a light or mint green looking color, which is pretty cool. Top snaps into place very securely. Metal cap, leather or pleather, whatever this is, wrapping around it, stitched in. Atomizer, pretty standard. It's pretty good also. It's not bad. If you like bergamot, that is mainly what you're going to get in this one. That's why it's radiant bergamot. There are some other notes in this in which I personally do not know, and I honestly don't really care. I just know that, personally speaking, this is pretty good. But being that I got 2 compliments, and I actually just got one on the elevator a few minutes ago. Before I got on, I was actually going back downstairs to move my truck away from that big ass tree, because I don't know if that tree is going to blow over if winds get heavy or not. But I moved my truck closer to the building, and as I was getting on to the elevator, this young lady told me, damn, you always smell so good. And I couldn't even smell it anymore. But somebody before I got home told me I smelled good also. And they obviously, you can still smell it coming off of me. I guess my shirt or whatever. But skin-wise, I don't really smell it. I think it's more or less on my shirt. But this is not a bad fragrance. It brings you about 20 bucks. And if you can find them, the only place I've actually seen these are Ross. Now, I'm pretty sure you can probably run across these elsewhere, like maybe Burlington, TJ Maxx, maybe, I'm not sure. Marshall's, maybe. But the only place I've really actually seen a lot of Ferrari is Ross. So this particular line, I highly recommend. I have 2 others. Let me go ahead and pull these out also. So, like I said, the boxes are all pretty much the same. And one of these I already had. I'm not sure which one. But somebody else either sent them to me for free or traded me the other 2. But regardless to the fact, I already liked one of them I had. And then the other 2 came. So this is Noble Fig, and this is the one I like the most. Let me go ahead and take this out of the box. This is the one I've worn twice already. And every time I wear this, when I get compliments, it's a nice smelling fig. It's not overpowering. Has the right amount of sweetness. This particular line, I will say Ferrari took their time with. They have another line of Ferrari, and I have one of them. Well, I have 2. The red version I have, but I don't like it that much. But the black version is the one I love because it has the note of plum in it. So it is a very nice, sweet fragrance. More for maybe fall, winter, stuff like that. But as you can see, let me go ahead and take this other one out too. Bright Neroli is another one that's pretty good if you like Neroli. Not a bad fragrance, but this is what I mean by the bottles are all the same. All of these are the same. And it's just the juice color. Now, these 2 juice colors are the same. And this one is green. And if there are more in this collection, I don't know anything about them. But I do want to find out, because if they're anything like these 3, these are excellent. Great fragrances. They last. I cannot tell you guys personally how long these last, because, well, maybe the Noble Fig, but the other two I do not know. I tried to keep track of how long I had a fragrance on, and I don't even remember what time I left here today. So I can't really give you a true assessment. I do know that Noble Fig lasts me at least 2 to 2.5 hours projection, and I think I got about 5.5 hours of longevity out of that one without having to reapply. So that's not too bad. I know some people were looking more for like 8+ hours, but there aren't a lot of fragrances out there that's going to give you that kind of projection or longevity without having to reapply, unless you spend some serious coin, and then even those don't even give you a full 8 hours. As far as I know. Now, I'm just speaking off the fragrances that I own or I have had before. Now, I can't speak for what you guys have, because all of our collections are mostly different. You guys have ran across some things that I've never heard of or have even tested or worn before. So I can't speak for those. I'm just speaking from my personal collection here. I don't have too much that gives you 8+. I mean, I have some, but I don't have a full collection of them. Like, I can probably call off right now maybe 10 off the top of my head that may give you 8+ hours. And I know for a fact my Club de Nuit Intense man does that. Giorgio Armani Absolute, probably. I know Chanel Eau Extreme probably gets me close to 8, if not a little past 8. Sauvage. Bentley for Men Intense. I may have to do that. I may have to do an updated video just to see how many 8+ hour fragrances I have. I know I did one once before, and it's kind of old, and I have a lot different and a lot more fragrances since then. So I may look into doing another one of those videos. But anyway, this one, Radiant Bergamot, got me 2 compliments today, and I can say that is a very nice fragrance. If you like bergamot, then you'll love this one. It's not overpowering whatsoever. Very bright, like it says, or radiant, I should say. It's very radiant. Spring and summer, this is perfect. It's refreshing. It's crisp. Very nice. I like this, and I'm glad I have it in the collection. So maybe I'll do another review of all the Ferrari fragrances that I have and let you guys know what the deal is on them, what I think. But right now, this line in particular, I don't know what you would call this line because it doesn't have like a line name. It just says Ferrari, and it just gives you Noble Fig, Bright Neroli, and Radiant Bergamot. Now, if there's a particular name or specific name for this line, then somebody please hit me and let me know. But it's the one with these tan and silver, metallic silver looking boxes. If you know what brand line this is, let me know. Anyway, I am out of here, guys. Thanks for all the people that are concerned and keep checking up on me. I'm A-OK. Nothing has popped off here yet. And we won't probably get any bad weather until later on tonight, early in the morning, and into tomorrow. I'm off from both jobs until they say so. I probably won't go back until Friday, in which I need to be working. because I got this brand new car that I gotta pay for, and I can't be missing time out of either job. So hopefully it works out. My car note is not due until maybe the end of this month, so that gives me time to at least try to get some money up to pay this thing. But for the most part, this has been your boy Mr. Cheap Sense. Here's to smelling good. Peace.